Hi everyone, my name is Aaron and today's video is going to be about how to apply for colleges when you are planning for study abroad. What are the documents that you require, how to write the perfect motivation letter. I'll be talking about all these things in this video. Let me tell you about myself. I have recently moved from India to Paris. I'm currently pursuing international business management and I make videos on topics such as study abroad, and also I showcase my life in Paris as a student. So stay tuned. So let's begin. So when we talk about studying abroad, we feel that deciding the college where we want to go to study or applying to that college is the very first step, but it is actually not. The very first step includes deciding what we want to do in our professional life. What kind of work do we want to do after we finish our course? And if you're someone who is very sure like this is something which you want to do, then it's good. You can decide your course based on that. And if you're someone who is not sure at this point of time, who is particularly confused, then you can maybe connect with people who are working in different industry, different roles, and you can ask them what are the roles and responsibilities that they manage on a daily basis, how their day look like, and maybe that way you'll find someone who with whom you'll be connecting, like this is something which I would also want to do on a daily basis after I start my professional journey. And this is how you decide what is the career that you want to have, what kind of job role that you want to begin your career with, and then you can decide or you can research what are the requirement of that particular job role and what is the course that you want to that you have to do in order to start your professional journey. This way you will clear out on two things. The very first thing is what kind of professional career you will have, and the second thing is what is the course that you will be doing in order to start that professional career. When we talk about professional career, I want to emphasize the fact that you do a very good market research, because lots of jobs are getting impacted because of AI and because of other things. So when you decide a particular course or a particular job role, you need to make sure that the job role has ample amount of opportunities in the current market or in the near future market, and your future is secured in that way, because you'll be investing lots of money and time in the course, and after that if you don't find good opportunities for that in that job market, then it will be very challenging for you. So please make sure that you are deciding the course and the job role based on the job market. Once you have finalized the course that you want to do, you have to make a list of universities where you can apply. To find out the universities, you can go on to studyportals.com or education.com, or you can take help from Google or any AI platform to find out what are the best universities for your course, and that way you'll get a list of universities. And after that you have to check the rankings of the universities, so that you can do on QS top universities or Times Higher Education. I'll put the link in the description of all these websites that I'm talking about. There you can check the universities and as well as their rankings. So if you want to find out courses for in a particular country, there are few websites that you can do that. For example, like you have to do MBA from Germany, so you can use that DAAD. And for UK you can use UCAS. For France you can use Campus France, and for US you can use Big Future. So these are the website in wherein you will find out the universities, courses, all the details in a particular website related to that country. I'll put the link in the description, so it will be easier for you to check on these websites. Now there are a few factors that you have to keep in mind when you are applying for the colleges. So the language is the very first thing. Make sure you are prioritizing this particular thing, as when you will be moving to that particular country and you don't know the language, it will get very difficult for you. If you are someone who speaks English and you want to move to any country, any English speaking country, then it will be easier for you. But if you are moving to any country, for example France, if you are coming to France and you don't know French, you don't know how to speak French, and even though your course is in English, you'll have to learn French in order to survive here, especially if you have to do internships here or find a part-time jobs here. It is almost impossible to find any opportunities, work related opportunities, or even basic communication when you go to supermarket or stuff like that. You have to learn French, you need to know French. And this can be another important factor if you go to any other country as well. So make sure you prioritize this particular thing. So living expense is something which you have to keep in mind, as it will impact your budget. So along with the course fee, you have to also check the living expense of that particular city. So let's say if you are applying for a college which is in Paris in France, and there's another college which is in Bordeaux, which is another city in France. So you will see that there's a possibility that the course fee is almost the same, but the living expense will be much higher in Paris in comparison. So you have to keep this in mind when you are making a shortlist, when you are applying for the colleges. You have to consider this as well. Another thing is eligibility requirements. So make sure you're having all the eligibility criteria fulfilled whenever you are shortlisting any particular college for that for any particular course. And if you're meeting all the requirements, then definitely you can go ahead and apply for that particular course in that college. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is the visa requirement of that particular country. So I'll give you an example of me. Initially I was applying for Germany, and even though I got acceptance letter from some universities in Germany, I got to know that I won't be able to get visa of Germany, as there was some issue with my degree and it was not acceptable in Germany because of some H1, H plus H minus issues. So this is something which I got to know at the earliest stage, and it saved a lot of time, because if I would have completed all the process and later at the end my visa would have been rejected, then it would have been an issue for me. So make sure this is something which you are checking, the eligibility requirement of the college of that particular course, as well as the visa requirement of that particular country. Also, if the college is asking for the IELTS score, then you have to give your exam before applying for the college. Or if the college is asking for GMAT score, if you're applying for MBA or anything like that, then you have to check that thing, and you have to have the scorecard before. And sometimes there is a possibility that the university will conduct their own test. Then you can accordingly prepare for that. But check all these things at the beginning, and if there is a requirement to give any particular test, then you have to give that. Like for example, in France, they generally don't need IELTS, so students can directly apply for the English courses as well. Another thing that I want to mention here is about the job opportunities. Sometimes there is a possibility when you are applying for any particular course in a country, and you have this thing in mind that I'll go there and study and I'll find a job and I'll stay or settle in that particular country, but the job market is not as good. So just keep this in mind, that there is a possibility that that can also happen, or maybe you can prepare that in advance when you are choosing your country. But just have this particular thing in mind, that there's a possibility that you just go there, do your thing, do your course, and after that you move to another country where job opportunities are much better. So now that you have finalized the list of universities wherein you will be applying based on the eligibility requirement, based on the university ranking, living expense, visa requirements of that particular country, and all those other things, now it's time for you to apply. So the list of documents that you will be required are basically your 10th and 12th mark sheet, and your undergraduation degree and the transcripts, along with your resume, your motivation letter, your work experience if you have any, and also your letter of recommendations. So these all will be required. And if the university is requiring for IELTS score or any other exam scorecard that is the requirement for the course, then you'll have to upload that as well. Now talking about resume, so you need to keep it very simple. Just mention your name, your mobile number, your email address, your LinkedIn address, then your educational background, like whatever you did in undergraduate, what was the period, the name of the course, and also about your work experience. So in the company name where you worked, the period for which you worked, what are the roles and responsibilities that you worked, mentioned in brief points. And then along with that, if you've done any internships, if you have any certifications, any online courses other than your main undergraduate degree you have done, so that is something you can mention. You can mention your skills that you have, that can be used for a professional career. So that, keep all those things in a simple way and put that in your resume. Now talking about motivation letters, so I would recommend you to create a personalized story and how this particular course will be helpful to you in order to create your upskill yourself in the future. So I'll share about my story. In my case, I created a personalized story in such a way that when I was doing bachelor's, I developed interest in the management roles when I did internships, and therefore right after my graduation I joined another company wherein I was working into sales. I learned customer engagement, customer service, negotiation skills, etc. And right after that I changed another company wherein I worked into operations. I worked with different managements, different departments such as HR, finance, supply chain, and there I learned some few other things. And now I want to upscale myself with this particular course of international business management, wherein I will be able to enhance my skills and use that in a professional career. So I kind of created a story which was very much personalized, and that shows the motivation to do this particular course. And this is something which you can also use in your story, and I think most of the universities will be accepting this letter of motivation in this way. But if they are asking for something other than motivation letter, then you have to prepare it accordingly. Now that you apply for all the universities with all the documents that we have discussed, and then you will get the interview call, like you will get email to have the interview with them. In the interview there will be a basic discussion about you, and you will have to introduce yourself. Then they will be asking questions such as, why do you want to do this course, why do you want to choose, why have you chosen this particular college or this country, what are your plans after this particular course, how this course will add value into your professional career. So all sort of the question they will be asking, and you have to be prepared for these questions. And once we are done with the interview, you just have to wait for the good news when you will be getting your acceptance letter. At the end, I want to highlight that every step that we have discussed are very important. So you do your own research at a very thorough level, and whenever you are taking any decision, you just have to be very sure about it. Whether it is deciding your role, whether it is deciding about your course, your college, your country. So just do your own research. Be prepared about it. And even if you're taking help from any external agency or agent, just make sure that you do your own research before deciding any particular step. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and all the best to you. If you have any questions, you can just connect with me in the email ID I have mentioned in the description. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.